Alright. Alright, this is going to be an analysis video of Persian against Greek from Persia's perspective. Two players are Samwise and Suzido. They're both pretty good. So first thing, I'm just going to do a little bit of a civ analysis between Greek and Persian. A lot of people right now, I think that Greeks are OP, and they are to an extent that they're easier. They're easier to get the most out of. But lately I've been playing a lot of this matchup, and I actually think that if Persia plays correctly, they are probably at equal odds. I don't think that the matchup favors them whatsoever, but I think they're at equal odds. So you can see just the little things that Sam's doing. He's got 4 on food. He's got a really good storehouse placement. He's got... I'm just going to take her for now. He's got good... oops. No, scroll around. He's got really good storehouse placement. Doesn't have any idle villager second time. Look at how all these villagers are like evenly spread and can instantly drop off without any wait time. He's scouting around for his back hunts, which against Greek is important. So basically the way that we, and when I say we, I mean pretty much me and the people I play with, me and pretty much the rest of my clanmates, have decided that is a good way to play this as Persia, is to age on 14 pop, between 13 and 14 pop, and go archery range first. If you don't scout an early spear harass from Greek, it's probably okay to go cav as well, but most Greek players have been tending to play super aggressively with spears, which is a little bit of a problem. You'll probably see the timing work out that Suzido will probably get a spear that'll come out, and he'll push on this storehouse, and he'll either get the storehouse or the storehouse will live with just a little HP. He'll probably make these villagers run if he does it early enough and does it hard enough of a harass. So you can see here now this villager is building a storehouse on the gold. That means he's probably clicked up. He's aging. Notice he's got the little space, just all the normal little things. He's built 2 storehouses on wood just so that he can avoid the walking time. And look at how good this is. This is really good. Pretty much zero walk time, which is really what you want to shoot for. So now Sam probably should be looking for that barracks. He needs to know if that barracks is coming or if it's not, which it looks like he's well aware of that, and so he's going to go check it out. He's got all of his secondary resources. He's got really good mines. He's got 2 gold mines behind his base. And pretty much what he's looking here now for is early barracks or not. Is there an early barracks? If so, how many spearmen are coming in there? He sees the early barracks, and there's the spearmen coming. That probably is the second one. The first one's already probably in route. Yes, either that or his barracks early. His barracks is late. One thing you can see too. Don't lose that. Yep. So one thing you can see here that Sam did is he drawed aggro with his scout from the spearman. If you take your scout and you catch that spearman running and you hit it, the spearman automatically aggroes the scout. So if the Greek player is being really aggressive with his first spearman, one thing that you can do to alleviate the pressure from that early on is just keep your scout in between where he's going to be coming, which is likely going to be your storehouse, and the spot where the barracks is. So just, imagine where the spearman's going to run. He's going to run right along here. Keep your scout patrolling in that area, and when you see that first spearman come, just hit it and aggro it and run it around. So you can see here, here come the spearmen now. They're a little late. He's got out his first bowman, so no big deal. He defended that. He got most of the food out of there anyways. There's only like 1 deer left there, but if you don't do that with your scout and you don't draw the aggro, this storehouse might go down, or you might lose a villager if you're not paying attention. But yeah, that's pretty standard with the 14 build. And then there's a little timing right here as well, that now he's gone delayed barracks. If you can get these 2 archers over to his base before the stable actually gets up, you can actually do a little bit of damage. You can maybe poke over here on the wood. I wonder if that's what he's going to do. That's what it looks like he's going to do. He's going to poke over here on the food. He needs to know how far along the stable is. So I wouldn't be surprised if he peeks back in there. You see he lost a lot of HP, so he doesn't really know how far along that stable is. But here he can poke these vills a little bit. Even if he loses these, honestly, if he gets a vill or 2 for him, it's probably worth the trade. He definitely should not be standing there and just sieging. It looks like, my guess is the first cav is close to on the way. But you can also see that Sam's gone stable as well, and then barracks as well. So you want to go 1-1-1 in this order with Persia against Greek. Archery range, stable, barracks, and then you really need to scout and see what composition he's making to decide what your next military building is going to be after that. See what else we have here. We have just hunting. That's still up. He's gathering cows in a really safe location. He's got a good little building wall going here, so all good little stuff. He's got out his first cav. He's got up the racks. So this is around the 6-minute mark, about the look you should be going for. You want to be having one of each military building. He wants to be having a spear or 2 coming out. He wants to be constantly training archers. He wants to be constantly training cav. And this is a hard thing to macro. It's definitely not an easy thing to macro, because you've got these 3 different buildings, all on 3 different control groups that you're trying to manage all at the same time, and it can be a lot to manage. But if you can do it well, it's definitely to your advantage to have a 3-unit mix that early. So here you can see he's getting a little bit of a raid. He's going to get 1 vill. He's probably just going to end up sacking this cav because the spearmen are probably coming. But if he can get 2 or 3 vills for this 1 cav, it's super great for him. So Suzuki didn't even send his spears, so that's a bit of a mistake on his part. Notice how, like, Persia in this matchup, it's so much easier for them to raid because Seri just don't snare like Asabara do, and so it's really easy for Sam to just raid and not really have the fear of being snared, because Suzy doesn't really have anything that can snare him. Oh, looks like Sam's gonna run into a bit of a mess here. Just gonna maybe get away with all of them. Yeah, he loses 1. But you can see here now he's got the full mix kind of coming in. Does he know? Yeah, he knows. He knows that there was an archer range, so they've both gone 1-1-1. Suzy did it in a little bit different of an order. He went barracks, stable, archer range. Sam went archer range, stable, and now he's gone double barracks. The double barracks is good against Greek, and pretty much you can kind of see here this composition that he's going to start making with his infantry. He's got a couple spears to deal with, you know, the hard counter of the series, but he's also got a lot of Sparbara, and Sparbara, honestly, in this matchup are pretty good because of how much range damage Greeks on a whole do. Their Sarasophorai all do range damage. Their Tox and Peltas all do range damage. So, I mean, honestly, having that buffer, that meat shield, to deal with the range damage from all those units is really good. So you can see here, he's working on his 5th military building. My guess is that Suzy-Doo's got another one coming. I actually just saw the ground move here, which probably means that that's another military building. That would be my guess. Either that or it's a house. A lot of people probably don't know this, but if you see the ground move, you can actually see where, if the ground is uneven, you can see the ground shift in the spot where they put down a building. So I know he just put down a military building right here because I saw the ground in this square move. So he knows actually, if he saw that, which he probably didn't, he knows where to scout, but those are just like little tiny things that if he happened to be looking at his base right now, he would know. So here's still the mix, a pretty even mix. I'd say this is about a, pop-wise, it's probably about a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of all military units with a mixture of infantry, of Sparbara, and spearmen. And continuing to raid. Notice that that's one thing that Persia has to do to get an advantage in this matchup, and I think the only way that they can truly compete in this matchup, and even, I mean, and when they do this, and when they do abuse the fact that they can raid and Greek really can't, I would actually say that it pretty much puts it, not in their favor, but it brings it back to even. You can see he's got a little bit of a raid going here on the wood line. That's definitely good, and then while this is happening, this is going to force Suzy to bring back a bunch of his military, for sure his infantry, and at the same time he's going to try and push the front or push the side, which is good because here comes the units to stop the raid. You can see he brought all of his cav back, and while that's happening, he's getting a bunch of free kills, so that is definitely something that you always want to try and do. If you can draw a bunch of his units with 2 cav and then push somewhere else with the rest of your army, that's a great way to get an advantage. You can see here that Suzy now is trying to control all his units that are back here and try and get his wood line reassembled, all from those 2 cav, and Sam is getting a bunch of free kills. It looks like there's going to be an engage here. Sam's a little out of position with his cav. Actually, his cav are in a pretty poor position. They're just kind of ramming into the infantry here, which is definitely not good for him. But he came out ahead. Yeah, it looks like he's coming out quite ahead here. He needs to reroute some of his infantry over here. Notice how the Sparbar are all just tanking. And ideally, you know, Suzy would want to avoid the Sparbar, but it's so hard. It's so hard to not hit the Sparbar, because, I mean, you have to have perfect control. It's just, it's not feasible to avoid all those Sparbar. So here you can see cost effectively for sure, Sam is definitely coming out ahead here. Remember, all of his units are much, much, much cheaper. So every time he's trading units, he's getting ahead. And so even though he's not going to be able to finish it here, you can see Suzy's starting to take a little hit in the score. He's down 400 points now. And so, especially when he's got closer reinforcement time, if he can push in like that, get an even trade, and get a raid in the back, he's going to start building an advantage. Which is going to be good for him. He's going with another archer range, which is probably smart, being how much infantry Suzy had. If he had more archers, he would probably want to do another stable there, but he's got enough barracks to deal with the cav. He's got 2 barracks, and Suzy just got 2 stables. I don't know. I probably would have personally gone with another stable there, but I mean, really, that last fight didn't go so well for Sam because he had his cav off hitting the infantry for a lot longer than he should have. But still, the Sparbar bow composition with even a few cav just to run around in the archer line and to run around behind to raid is pretty hard for Greek to deal with. You can still see he was trying to raid, trying to push him off resources. And once the Greek player has to come out of his base for a second gold mine, which looks like his second gold's here and here, both out front of his base, that's when Sam can really start to abuse the fact that he can't sit in his base. So the more he can trade and even out in age 2 and not let, yeah, here he comes up for the second gold, and here you can see that Sam was anticipating that, knows that he's going to have to come out for a second gold at some point, and he raids there. And so immediately once he's raided here, notice how he's sending his whole army to raid here, because he knows that he's just pushed these vills, or he can continue to raid them. Eventually Suzy's going to probably try and secure this gold mine over here if he can't deal with this raid. And this is when Persia can start to battle back. Notice how many vill kills he's getting here. He's getting loads of vill kills here. Doesn't want to engage because he doesn't have his full army with him. He's fighting under Suzy's reinforcements, but loads and loads of vill kills over here. He probably got, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 vill kills, and that's really when Persia can start to start to even it up and pull ahead. You can see he knows that Susie just got a lot of cav now. And start making more barracks. Once you start building a high spar bar count, remember spar bar with all that range resist do a really, really good job against Greek. And this is kind of the look you want in mid-game in this matchup. You want a lot of Sparbara, a lot of Bowman, and then enough Cav to continue to raid about and just make the archers move. You can even see Susie Dude's building a market, which likely means he's probably sitting on just a pile of wood. And really needs to trade some away. Here he's getting more Vil kills, more Vil kills, more Vil kills. And this kind of pressure, honestly, is eventually going to force Susie Do into doing something. He's going to have to come out of his base. He's going to have to try and push. Otherwise, he's just going to get raided to death and split too thin. Especially now that he's going to try and be out on these other gold mines. So, here you can see we got an engage. This is a pretty good position for Sam. He's completely, Susie Dude's got his army completely split off, and Sam's just got a big ball of archers right in the middle. So that's really good for Sam, really bad for Susie Dude. You also see he's got the spar bar tank line right up in front of all of his archers. He's got a pretty good split going on. And this is pretty much going to be game. You can see how much this has dropped for Susie Do. And yeah, and that's game. He knows it. So really that game came down to the Persia player being aggressive and having map control pretty much at all times, which is something that a lot of people don't do well. They don't make use of the fact that Persia can raid much more effectively than than what a Greek can. So yes, the Greek sit in your base and camp to 140 pop is really strong, really hard to beat. But if you can effectively raid and smartly raid, notice how you push one place with a raid, draw the units out, and then you push somewhere else or raid somewhere else. Even 1 or 2 units in each spot can be really, really effective. So that's the end of that commentary. Looks like we're going to have a re. Don't know if I'll record the re. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. My voice is really getting tired. I've been talking a lot lately, so I'll upload this game. Probably Persia thingy, Persia 201, something like that. Hope you enjoy.